Greetings for the day. My name is Mohammad Rahmat Ali. Welcome to another session of computer networks. In today's session, we are going to start our second unit from our academic syllabus from computer networks. So, in this presentation or in this whole of the chapter, we are going to study about internet networking, about the connection and connectionless networking, what do you mean by tunneling, what is fragmentation, network layer in the internet with reference to IP protocol and IP addresses, internet control protocol like OSPF, BGP and mobile IP addresses, and with reference to the IP version 6. And next we are going to study about the internet transport protocol with reference to UDP, TCP IP or TCP, and also with reference to IP also. So in this session, in today's session, we are going to learn about the first or the overview introductory part, what actually second unit is all about, and what we are going to learn from this chapter or from this unit. The overall thing that we are going to learn from this is the networking things, like in the previous chapter, in the previous unit, we studied about the overview of computer networks, we studied about computer networks, and also with specifically with reference to the network layer we studied about. Now in today's session, we are going to learn about the networks, networking, internetworking and other things. So now what is internetworking? Internetworking is a process or technique of connecting different networks by using intermediary devices such as router or gateway devices. In the sense, let it might be an individual computer, let it might be a laptop, let it might be a supercomputer, let it might be any of the device which is been connected to an internet, which has been connected or interconnected with one another with some medium, placing something in between which can route that particular thing, that is called as internetworking. That is what we call as internetworking. For an instance, if at all if I want to send some of the data from my side to your side, I should be using some of the intermediate type of things which can communicate both of us. Like the communication can happen one to one, the communication can happen one to many, the communication can happen to many to one or many to many. The communication can happen in any of the format with the usage of intermediary devices such as router, bridges, switches, XYZ type of things. If at all if this is a setup, then it is called as an internetwork or internetworking. Now what is the next statement that says internetworking ensures data communication among networks owned and operated by different entities using a common data communication and the internet routing protocol. Like I have said to you in the previous session, I cannot take a small example. I cannot speak English, for an instance, if you consider, I cannot speak English and you cannot speak Hindi, but I can speak Hindi, you cannot speak Hindi. How can we communicate with one another? What is the medium of communication between us? Well, because the thing you know, I don't know, the thing I know, you don't know. It means there is nothing common between us. There is nothing common in between us. So there should be some common protocol, or there should be some common mechanism, or there should be some common operations that should be followed by every other system to be in the network. For an instance, like I'll give you a small example. Like if at all if you want to go to any of the country like Canada, America, Australia, New Zealand, you'll be writing a test called as IELTS. Now what is the need of this IELTS examination? The need of this IELTS examination is to ensure that your level of understanding, speaking and knowing English is equal to that country. So that's the reason you will be given a bandwidth. You will be given a band onto which you need to get that much amount of score which ensure that you are able to speak the amount of English that that country can speak. Understood what I am saying? It means when we are communicating with one another, there should be some common platform or common thing which can help us to communicate with one another. Now coming back towards the computer networks, if at all if I am using an operating system of Windows, some other person is using a operating system of Fedora Linux, or some other person is using Unix. Now these three are three different entities. I want to send some information from my Windows to Unix system. So there should be a common platform or common way in which I will be sending the data and he will be receiving the same amount of data. The data should not change, the data should not get delayed, and the data should not be repeated. So seeing all of this condition, we will be designing a computer networks. So in that computer network, a small part is internetworking. In the sense, like there should be some common entities and common data that should be used as a data communication instance. That should be used as a data communication instance, as well as there should be internet routing protocol. Internet routing protocol. What internet routing protocol is all about, we are going to study in the coming sessions, in the coming days. We are going to study all about this. But as of now, remember, there are two systems or two entities which are communicating with one another using an intermediate device which is routing the things, which is having some of the instructions to make a proper communication between two things. As I have said, you like I don't know English, you don't know Hindi. So we will be hiring a person who knows both of the languages. That is called as a translator. That is what we call as a translator. Here we call it as a protocol. Protocol means it is a set of instruction which will convert one information or one language into another language, or one instruction into another instruction which we can understand, or which systems and communication can understand with one another. So the last point is, internet networking is only possible when all the connected networks uses the same protocol stack or same communication methodologies. In the sense, I am speaking English, you are speaking Mandarin, somebody is speaking French, another person is speaking some other language. We cannot communicate with one another. There is no methodology, there is no medium by which we can communicate with one another. It means we should have some common methodology or common protocol or common communication stack and of communication methodologies which can help us to communicate. That can be anything, like that can be a French, that can be a Mandarin, that can be an Arabic, that can be English. As we all use English, so we consider English as one of the communication methodology. It means like it is not mandatory that English should always be there. It might get changed some other place. If at all, if you go to any of the countries like GCC countries, they cannot speak English. They can speak only Arabic. So they will be speaking Arabic as common language. If at all, if you go to China, there the people will be speaking Mandarin. So there it is common to speak Mandarin. If at all, if you come to India, we can speak English as well as we can speak our regional language, including Hindi. So this is an advantage. When we are having an interconnection, when we are having a group of conversation between us or among us, there should be some common protocol or common methodologies or common way of communication which can help us in expressing our views and exchanging the views and transmitting the information correctly. In the same way, when it comes to computers and when it comes to the devices connected on the net doesn't mean internet. On the net in the sense, it can be a local area network, it can be a wide area network, it can be anything. So it is a group of connections. It is a group of connection which will help us in communicating with one another. Now moving forward, what it says, computer network that provides connection oriented service are called as virtual circuits, while those providing connectionless services are called as datagram networks. We will see what this all is all about. And what it says like computer network that provide connection oriented services are called as virtual circuits. Like in the sense, any of the connection oriented services is called as virtual circuits. Virtual circuit is very much different from virtual networks, and this is very much different from other things. Virtual circuits are those connections of computers of network which is connection oriented, which is based or which share some response time, stack, and other type of things. Whereas while those providing connectionless services are called as datagram networks. Now, for prior knowledge, the internet which we use is actually based on datagram network, which is connectionless at the network level, as all packets from source to destination do not follow the same path. In the sense, what actually this means is like, if at all if you speak about the internet that we used to use in Windows 98, Windows 97, they we used to have a modem and we used to have dial-up connections. We used to have dial-up connections in which we know every other time when we want to access the internet, we used to use a dial-up network which can communicate, which can help us the computer line with the internet. Like the line that we used to use was a telephonic line. From that telephonic line, we were accessing the internet. We were accessing the internet. It means the data which used to come was a static path, was from a static path. Whereas now the internet that you are using, the Wi-Fi that you are using is unknown from where the packets are coming from, how that information is sent from one information to another. Like for instance, I can connect to my Wi-Fi as well as I can connect to my data. In both the way I can access the internet. In the sense, it is not connection oriented, it is connection less type of a network. Now, what actually is concatenated virtual circuits? Before going into this concatenated virtual circuits and datagrams and all these things, let me dive into what are the different types of networks that we'll be having. The different types of networks that we'll be having in the computer networks. The first one is connection oriented, the second one is connectionless, and the third ones are the virtual networks. And the third one is called as virtual networks. Now, to get a deeper idea or a deeper sight into this, what actually these all things are, first let me understand what actually is a connection oriented or connection based type of networks. In this, all of the networks and all of the computers will be connected by wired way. If any of the system which has been connected via wired connection, then that connection is called as connection oriented network. Connection oriented network. Because in olden days, every other network used to be connected by wires using different cables and different connections. That type of connections are called as connection oriented networks. Whereas when we consider with reference to wireless network or connectionless networks, then those are Wi-Fi, those are mobile data, X5 type of things. So in this, we will not be physically connected to any of the network. We will be connected to any of the network via wireless connections. So these type of connections or these type of networks are called as connectionless networks. These type of networks are called as connectionless networks. Now, the third type of network that is being used in modern day, and this is going to be the future of the networks, which is called as virtualization or virtual networks. What do you mean by virtual networks? Virtual networks can be defined in different ways. Virtual networks can be defined in different ways. Like virtual networks can be defined with reference to virtual machines, virtual networks, or virtual devices. For an instance, if I tell you, I can control a computer or I can control a machine which is being installed in America, which is being installed in US, which is being installed in Australia, which is being installed in Canada, which is installed in New Zealand. Can you believe? Yes, we can believe. Why? Because I know that the technology has improved. How is this possible? With the help of what you call as the IP address, with reference to the address on which it is working, and the help of the address on which you are working. The best example of using virtual networks or virtual computers with reference to the basic things I am telling you, or the remote controlling devices, is your TeamViewer. If you observe the TeamViewer from my computer, I am able to access the computer which is far away from me. Sitting here, I can access the computer who is very much far away. I can troubleshoot the problem, I can see the problem, what it is happening, I can share his screen, I can work on his computer with the help of TeamViewer. With the help of TeamViewer. This is one of the type of virtual network. Another type of virtual network is, I am having a device, on that I want to have another device to be installed. For an instance, this is my laptop, and on this laptop I have Windows installed, but I want to install Linux onto this. So what I'll be using? I'll be using a virtual machine. I'll be using a virtual machine so that I can use two operating systems at one instance. Like being on one operating system, I can use another operating system. I'm not talking about two different operating systems like dual operating system. No, I'm speaking about being on one operating system, I want to use another operating system. That type of operating system or that type of mechanism is called as virtual machine. You will be having a virtual box. With the use of this virtual box, you will be able to install, or you will be able to make those applications work on your computer which is not possible on your local computer. For instance, if I tell you in this way, I am using a Linux operating system on a Windows operating system, and I am using a Windows operating system as well as a Linux operating system. There is a difference. The first one I said, like, I am using a Linux operating system on Windows operating system. The second one is I am using Windows operating system as well as Linux operating system. These are two different things. The another type of virtualization, or the concept of virtualization, is something like you will be given a username and ID. Like for an instance, if I'll tell you, your computer does not support big operations. Like you cannot have bigger operations. So what you will do is, like, you will be hiring, or you will be taking some of the resources from any of the company, and you will be using those resources virtually. For an example, if I tell you the concept of Dockers, what do you mean by Dockers? Dockers are something like you will be having the remote system on your local system. You will be using those remote systems on your local system, or remote devices on your local devices. These are the another type of virtual network. This is what we call as the concept of virtualization. Now coming back towards the concatenated virtual circuit, it means any of the circuit or any of the network which is being connection oriented, meaning that there is a reservation of resources like buffer, CPU, bandwidth, etc. for the time in which the newly set up virtual circuit is going to be used by data transfer session. This is what we call as a virtual circuit network. Okay. Now the best example for this is like ATM and all these things. So for an overview, I am telling you all these things. We are going to study these things in a detailed view. Whereas like connection less internet working or datagram internet working are those things in which you will be having a connection less type of network, wherein the information will be sent and received wirelessly. It will be wireless type of information. Whereas the next thing is with reference to tunneling, wherein you will be having a tunnel wherein the information and data can be transferred with one system to another system. So this is an overview with reference to your second chapter, wherein you will be learning about the differences between IPv4 and IPv6, as well as what is UDP and what is what is TCP/IP, and with reference to OSPF, with reference to internet control protocols, how you will be controlling the internet, and what are the mechanisms by which the information will pass. In the previous chapter, we studied about the networking things, like how the data will be thrown and all these things, and how the data will be sent and received. In this chapter, we are going to learn about how protocol works with reference to the transferring of the data, with reference to packaging of the data, with reference to what you call as making the data at one instance. So this is an overview about the second unit or second chapter of our unit. We will be studying in detail with reference to every other topic in the coming sessions. That's all for today's session. I hope you got an overview what actually this chapter is all about, what is an internet or what is internet networking and all these things. I hope you understand. That's all for today's session. And hope to see you in the next session. That's all for now. Thank you and see you in the next session. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.